Republicans in Pennsylvania have fired their regional field director after he was revealed to be a white supremacist. I'm shocked. Shocked. Not really shocked. But all right, great. Fired.
Fired.
Get out. Now, Politico reported that it identified Luke Meyer, 24, a Pennsylvania-based field staffer who worked for 5 months for former President Donald Trump as the online white nationalist who used the pseudonym Alberto Barbarossa. Meyer reportedly co-hosts the Alexandria podcast with fellow neo-Nazi Richard Spencer, the organizer of the 2017 Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. Really looks the part of a white supremacist, doesn't he? Now, some of the comments from his show detailed his racist views, like when he said this, quote, "Why can't we make New York, for example, white again? Why can't we clear out and reclaim Miami?" You don't own Miami. You don't own any of this. What is wrong with you? Actually, apparently a lot, because you'd have to have something real wrong with your brain to be a white supremacist. All right. And there's more. He said, quote, "I'm not saying we need to be 100% homogenous. I'm not saying we need to be North Korea or Japan or anything like that. A return to 80%, 90% white would probably be the best we could hope for to some degree." Oh, wow. 10 to 20% of the country not being white. How magnanimous of you, Mr. Barbarossa. No, you know what this is? You know I'm going to do it.
The Republican Party's racist.
Now, after being presented with the evidence by Politico linking him to the Barbarossa alias, Meyer admitted the connection and confessed that he had been concealing his online identity from fellow members of Trump Force 47, the arm of the Trump campaign overseeing volunteer mobilization efforts. I'm going to bet that he's lying about that. I'm going to bet that it was probably pretty easy to identify him as a white nationalist. These people never really shut up. Okay. But in a very salty email to Politico, Meyer wrote this, quote, "I'm glad you piece these little clues together like an Antifa Nancy Drew. It made me realize how draining it has been having to conceal my true thoughts for as long as I have." I mean, again, they had to have had some clue. It's really difficult for racists to hide who they really are. I mean, they're usually pretty open about it, or there's like a slip. But then again, when it comes to like N-word slips and stuff like that, that is nothing that Republicans haven't heard and said before. Okay? And let's be clear, supporting Donald Trump is probably your first clue. I know, not all Republicans are racist, but all racists happen to be Republican. Just saying. Now, he said this, quote, "Like the Hydra, you can cut off my head and hold it up for the world to see, but 2 more will quietly appear and be working in the shadows, slating Trump to speak at Madison Square Garden," for the Nazi rally, poisoning the blood in his speeches, when he said poisoning the blood of America, setting up Odal runes at CPAC, etc. In a few years, one of those groypers might even quietly bring me back in with a stern warning for me to be more careful next time. Are they also going to tell you not to fap anymore? Yes, because I know that's a thing on the right. Where you had Nick Fuentes going around with a black light to see if you were, masturbating too much or at all. These people are so freaking weird, man. They're so absolutely just weirdly crazy. Okay. But look, here's the thing. The white supremacists, they love the Republican Party because it matches them so well. The Republican Party for years has been playing on white fears about black people and immigrants, all right, coming in. It's not really a stretch to see how something like this could happen. How Oh, they're talking about, we expertly infiltrated the Republican Party. Oh, dude, you think that was hard? You think that was hard? No, all you had to do was just not explicitly say openly racist things. Not like super open. See, they work in codes, you see. So, instead of like, black people, lazy, they say things like, oh, the urban, there's a problem with urban people and they don't exactly have a work ethic. Oh, you see, it's the same thing. Okay, same thing. So that said, why did he get fired then? Because it's embarrassing. The Republican Party has a serious problem with not being able to get Latino voters, not being able to get black voters. So they need some of those voters in order to win elections. And so there's only so much voter suppression they can actually do. Okay. They just, at this point, they're no longer going to have the numbers. Okay. Without some sort of outreach. All right. That said, they think that maybe if they fire one open racist, that people are not going to catch on to the fact that the Republican Party, as of right now, is a racist party. They've been a racist party since the civil rights era. I mean, look, it's Southern strategy, all right? The Willie Horton ads, all right? The lies about welfare queens, all right, from Reagan. All of it is in service to white supremacy, which also is in service to capitalism. It's hand in hand, okay? The billionaire class needs the working class to fight each other. So while we're distracted, they can pick our pockets. That's the reality of the situation. And so they stoke racial division in order to do that, in order to distract everybody. White nationalists, like this guy, who are not at all inbred hicks, okay? When you think of white nationalists, when you think of white supremacists, I mean, instantly you think of like, oh, Southern white racist hick living in a trailer, has no teeth. That's not at all, okay? No, you've got people like this guy, you've got people like Richard Spencer, who've got college degrees, they drive nice cars, and, on first look, might look like respectable people. And then you find out what they really believe. They are the ones who are paid very, very well by the ultra wealthy to stoke divisions on race. They want to make working class people feel like, oh, we're superior to black people. We're superior to those immigrants, to those Muslims, right? And so, we're better than you guys. Ha ha! When in reality, no, they'll throw you away just like they throw away all the other people in order to stay on top. They're on the heap right now. They don't want things to change, okay? That's the conserve part of conservatism, meaning they don't want to change. They want to conserve their own position at the top of the hierarchy, and they're using racism, division, white supremacy, and capitalism in order to do it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.